My name is AJ Wegman. I'm a graphic designer by trade. I'm also a husband and father, and I play guitar in a band here in town. The Movember Showcase is a night of music to speak up about men's mental health issues. It is open to anyone and everyone. It's not only for men, but it was in Men's Mental Health Month, and so we tailored towards men's mental health. What we do is we have 4 to 5 bands come in, and just everyone kind of has a good time and hangs out for a while. We have a silent auction, and we also give 100% of the proceeds from the door and the silent auction to the Wellbeing Initiative Incorporated here in Lincoln, Nebraska. I think it's so important because I feel at some point every single man in their life has been told to man up and just ignore your emotions, ignore your feelings. And it's a really dangerous thing to do because what we're doing then is we're telling ourselves to shut off that part of ourselves, who we are. And I've seen it happen time and time again where men focus more on anger and frustration than finding a healing way to deal with their emotions because that's just what society expects you to do. And I think it's really important for men to have their own little space to be able to talk with each other and be open about what we're feeling and not be ashamed or concerned if somebody else is going to say something negative about you because, it's everyone experiences these emotions, everyone experiences these feelings. And for, half the population to shut ourselves off from even acknowledging them is extremely dangerous. The 5th year in particular really stood out as a year where we were seeing that we were really making an impact in the community. Just with the amount of people that showed up and the amount of donations we were given for the silent auction and the amount of donations we were given for just from sponsors to be able to put the event on. Without our sponsors, there's no way we could do this. They help pay for advertising, flyers, venue rental, and just anything else that might come up along the way. And so just to have, starting the 5th year, the sponsors really stepped up and the silent auction people stepped up and the community, and the community really stepped up too. It was amazing. Just to have this room packed with people, it was just really cool to experience. It's kind of a twofold thing that led to me starting the Movember Showcase and as well the Speak Up kind of group that goes along with the Movember Showcase. At the time, I had been listening to a podcast about just pop culture, but the guys, what they try to do each year is do something to give back to the community. And they're from Australia. And so what they did is they were giving back to men's mental health through Movember. And I was familiar with Movember through the mustache Movember for men's prostate cancer. But in other countries, they were a little ahead of us in working in men's mental health as well into the Movember movement. And so I heard that and I was inspired by it and talked to some friends and I was like, oh, hey, there's this really cool idea that I have, but somebody should put something on like this. And then ultimately, after talking to my friends, we decided that it was going to be me. This was the one who put something like this on. The second half of the question is a friend of mine had committed suicide a year before. Sorry, I'm getting emotional for a second. He committed suicide a year before, and just knowing what he was going through. Sorry. Sorry. Knowing what he was going through just inspired me to want to do something to give back and to contribute to mental health issues so that something like this could avoid happening again. If you're struggling, the one thing I want to tell people is that to not be afraid of how you're feeling, because we all experience it in one way or another. Some people experience it more extremely than others. Some experience it a little more subdued than others. But we all experience these feelings and these emotions at one point in time or another, whether it be from, loss of a loved one, something with your job, a breakup, or whether it just be something genetic you're born with. Like, we all experience these feelings in one way or another, and to just have an open space to be able to come forward and just talk to somebody and get support for it is paramount. It's just, I cannot tell you enough how important it is to not be afraid of a stigma, not be afraid of a diagnosis, and just to come forward and be like, hey, I want to talk to somebody. Um, I want to just, and whether it be a professional you're talking to, or even just somebody that you love or you care about that's going to just listen, it's really important to get those feelings out there. A great way, if you're looking to sponsor or give something to the silent auction, or just contribute financially or with your time or something, you can reach out to myself or to the Speak Up Facebook page. Um, and I can help find a way for you to be involved through everything that's going on. Or, if you want to give something forward for the donations, it's greatly appreciated. Or if you want to put something forward for the silent auction, or even if you just want to give a little bit towards the event to help, help out the Wellbeing Initiative, will be another, I can really help out with, finding ways for you to be able to contribute there. If you're looking to get involved in men's mental health stuff, kind of like how Speak Up is involved or the Movember Showcase is put on, um, one thing I would recommend contacting the Wellbeing Initiative. I've worked with them for 10 years. They're amazing people. The stuff they do, they work with addiction recovery, mental health issues, um, and just finding ways to be able to help out people in the community. There's also the Kia House, that is kind of a place where you can go, that if you're struggling for a little while, they'll give you like a room to stay in for a little while. And so, like, reaching out to them and seeing how you could help them would be a great way to help. The Morning Hope Grief Center is another one that I recommend reaching out to and talking to kind of see what they kind of help work with, like, youth a lot with grief problems, and just helping with what their mission is, I think, is really important as well. Um, and ultimately too, you can reach out to myself and I can try to help find some way to get you plugged in with people who'd be able to um, help you get more involved in contributing to men's mental health issues.